The pick is in.
With the 47th pick, the Arizona Cardinals select Will Johnson, cornerback out of Michigan. Let's bring in Locked On Cardinals host Alex Clancy to download on this pick. And Alex, you said you got the pick right just around late. Why do you think Johnson slipped to the second round?
I mean, he had the turf toe injury last year. There was this lingering, what is this knee injury thing going on that's, really surfaced as of late, but I don't know. I don't know. A lot of times, that one of the things that I say is if you do the little things right, good things tend to fall your way. And this is just something that Monty Osborne the last couple of years has done things the right way, built slowly, incrementally. And sometimes players just fall in your lap. And I'm just over the moon right now.
And what a player to fall in the laps of the Cardinals, because he's scouted as a guy who excels at reading the QB, then getting his eyes on the receiver, then breaking on passes and coverage. I mean, what are some of those things, other things you might like about him as well, as far as what he brings to this Cardinals secondary?
He's a pick six dude. I like that. The Cardinals don't have defensive touchdowns. They haven't for quite some time. I kind of see him as a Saquon Barkley home run threat as a corner. He's
That's
a guy
who
had 2 pick sixes in 6 games this year. He had a pick six last year. He won the national championship 2 years ago. He's the MVP 2 years, defensive MVP 2 years ago. This dude is an absolute dog. And you partner him with Garrett Williams and Budda Baker and Dejan Taylor-Demerson and Jalen Thompson under the tutelage of Nick Rallis and Jonathan Gannon. This is Cardinals, mark my words right now, Tetra, top 10 defense in 2025.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Alex, as I was kind of going through it, because, as we get into the offseason and we get into the draft classes and everything just kind of refreshes, I'm like, that's an embarrassment of riches that they're working with the Arizona Cardinals in that secondary. So couldn't agree with you more. And when you look, however, that means a lot of competition. So what do you think Johnson needs to improve on as he's going through camp in order to be ready to contribute day one?
I think it's just a scheme thing. He can play zone. He's a scheme fit guy. Jonathan Gannon and he are 2 peas in a pod. That's why I had him mocked at 16 to the Cardinals. Obviously, he slipped to the second round. The Cardinals got him anyways. And I think it's really just catching up to speed because the true bona fide outside CB1 role is vacant. Sean Murphy-Bunting is not that guy. And if he can catch up, if his, medicals are as such to where he can go through camp and go through the preseason and be ready to rip in week 1, it's going to be a very, very steep incline initially. But once he hits that flow state, you could see CB1 bona fide after year 1. So it's just going to be a ramp up of learning the system and playing off his teammates and being ready to rip.
But I think you make a great point too. This is where he is kind of where this team is, right? Almost ready to rip. So I think you make a great point in that he's one of those guys that's a piece that helps to contribute to a team that was right there. They're on the cusp. It seems like they're progressing in some way, if not in multiple ways, each and every year. And you can't speak enough about how he could contribute to maybe accelerating that for the 2025 season for Arizona.
Yeah, and it's something, it just shows the stability of the organization now. Steve Keim used to draft players to save a position group, and what Monty Osborne is doing is drafting players to, be a part of a position group. It was Walter Nolan at 16. They've already got Dalvin Tomlinson, Calais Campbell, and Darius Robinson. He's there to learn around vets. You've got Will Johnson jumping in, not needing to save the secondary. They've got Budda Baker and Garrett Williams and Jalen Thompson to be able to coach him and groom him in an effort to not make it to where he needs to be ready faster than the natural course of actions would take. He's ready to be a part of a group and not to save it. So it's a great ecosystem for a young guy to be in, regardless of talent level. But as a guy who can be a CB1, there are not many better spots than the Cardinals with that open CB1 room.
Indeed. Appreciate the time, Alex. And for continuing coverage of the Cardinals, subscribe to Locked On Cardinals wherever you get your podcast. And for more on Will Johnson, let's hear from Locked On Wolverines host Isaiah Hole, who spent a lot of time covering Will up close.
Assuming he stays healthy, Will Johnson is going to make an NFL franchise very, very happy for a very, very long time. My name is Isaiah Hole. I'm the host of Locked On Wolverines, and I have seen Will Johnson up close from being a recruit all the way through his Michigan career. And let me tell you something about him. He is as locked down of a corner as you will see at the college level, and that does look like it's going to project to the NFL level, given he can play man, he can play zone, he's got speed, he's got a knack to make the move on the football. He leads Michigan with an all-time